Hello, I am back. I'm not sure when this will air, so I'm not going to sing the theme song or anything like that. But let's process some French tarragon. Okay, I'm going to show you all step by step how I do it. It may not be the correct way, it may not be the easy way, it may not be the right way or whatever. It's just the way that I do it and the way that I like to do it. For French tarragon, of course, I'm not going to be using the food processor because the French tarragon pieces are small. And so what I do is I always, as with all of my herbs, I dehydrate the smaller herbs on the stem. I do not remove the leaves prior. And plus, these leaves will fall right through the holes. In fact, these are the ones that did fall through the holes that I collected. So what I do after I dehydrate, I just take and pull it just like that to take it off of the stem. And it comes down into my favorite bowl that I like to use. So let's do this side. And then the stem, when I went to the herb workshop 2 weeks ago, they said if you're processing, you can actually process the stem right along with the herbs. And I'll do that the next time with herbs that I do process. But as far as this is concerned, I do not process the stem. So we're just going to set this on the side by the plate. And so here's the plate of herbs. This is how they looked yesterday, but they're now dehydrated. And I did dehydrate these. Instead of my normal 3 hours, I actually went 5 hours with the French tarragon. I wanted to make sure that it was good and dry. And this is for my sister. And please say a little prayer for her. She went to the hospital today. Remember the other day when I said that she wasn't feeling well during the party at first, and then she started feeling better? Well, she woke up this morning and wasn't feeling well again, and she decided, with our age, I better go to the hospital and get checked out. Well, they admitted her and they want to do a few tests on tomorrow. So pending that the tests come out okay, she'll be discharged on tomorrow. So just say a prayer for her. That's all I'll say about that. Because if she knew I was telling her business online, she would kick my butt, okay? Alrighty, so what I'm doing now, and this won't take long, and I'm slowly pulling these because I don't want the French tarragon to fly everywhere. Because when it's dry as a bone. And I make sure I clean the stem really good. You can see it because I can see it barely. Okay, so that's the third one. Then we have a few more to go. And these, and I should have worn my gloves. I mentioned yesterday that I really don't like to touch anything that's going to be consumed with my hands. But since I've already done half, and of course I smell like French tarragon now, and I'm almost done, so it's no sense in putting on gloves now. And the rest of the process I won't even be handling it. And I did wash my hands before I got started. Okay, so this one is clear. Okay, cleared that one. We've got, I think, 3 or 4 more to go. There's one. And I'm just going slow, y'all, because I'm tired. I went to the doctor today, and I will show you after I get through handling this with my hands what's happening with my test and everything. Use my other hand because I just touched my face. As the lady who went viral said during COVID, she said, just touch your face. Okay, 2 more to go. Nope, 3 more to go. And I'll show you how much I got. Or how much she got. I decided Sherry will get all of this I'm only keeping what was left over from yesterday's French tarragon butter. That's enough for me because remember, I have my own French tarragon plants growing, and from the looks of it today, it's growing pretty good, so I will get a nice batch during my last harvest of the month. And then I do pull from it if I'm cooking and I want to use some fresh. I do pull from it, from the plant, a little bit at a time. And I actually have a little bit in the fridge now. So I'll let her get as much as she can get. And then she'll get another batch at the end of the season, but it won't be this much. Hold on, I have some pieces here on the plate. Okay, there's 2, 3. They just kind of fell off the stem on their own. And I just put the stems back on the plate right here. Okay, last one, you guys. Then we'll get to my favorite part, chopping. Okay. So if you've never processed herbs before, it's simple. What you want to do, because someone asked me on yesterday, and she also requested, and I am happy. I want to let you know right now, I am happy to oblige, and that was the plan anyway, because y'all know that onion powder video was jacked up from point A to point Z, okay? So I had already planned to reshoot that next week once I go and pick up some more onions from the farm market. I want to actually show the whole process, so that's going to be a 2-parter, but the 2 parts are going to be from me. I'll get the onions cut off camera, of course, because that takes a while, but I'm going to show how I dehydrate them, how I set them on the dehydrator, then and so that'll be one video in itself. And so then once I start the dehydrator, after that, I'll come back 18 hours later. And like I said, I don't know how to edit, pause, and come back and all that stuff. So that's why I do more than one part. I'll start a new video the following day because onions, it took my last batch 18 hours to dehydrate fully. And they actually brown in the dehydrator, so you pretty much know when they're done and ready. They will brown, and then of course they'll be crispy, just like this French tarragon. And this is how much I just got. Okay, but anyway, so after the onions get dry, then I will come back on the next video to demonstrate, and I will put that back in the processor again like I did the last time. But now that I know how to work the processor and everything, I know exactly what to do. So that will go pretty quick, processing. Then after I process, I will be putting the onions into my handy dandy jar. I love this chopper. It's a vintage chopper that I bought years ago at Value World. It still works fine. It's very sharp. But I like the way that what I found out with the onions, after I had completed the powder, I still saw a few more flakes than what I wanted to see. So I stuck the onion powder in here and I chopped it up for about 3 to 4 minutes, and it turned into a fine powder. Now, granted, I didn't have much because I started off with the 2 larger bottles. But when I was done, I ended up getting 1 large bottle and a half bottle of the powder. So, and the next time I'm buying more than 4 onions, so I'll get more, and I'm gonna fill up as many bottles as I can, and I'll go on to my big mason jar. Okay, so for my sister, this is what I'll do. I'm getting ready to put the French tarragon into the this here. So what I like to do is, I like to take the French tarragon and I like to pour it into, I have a Pyrex jar. So I have to be careful. I don't want any of it to spill. Just like with mine, I don't want not one leaf to get wasted. Okay, and this Pyrex measuring cup, I'm even getting the powder in there. And I do have my brush, but I didn't bring it with me, but I don't really need it. This is the only residue left in the bowl, which isn't much. And I'll set the bowl there on my walker. So how many ounces did I get? I like to look to see how much filled the cup. And this is the cup I always use. So this gave me 2/3 cup. Actually, almost 3/4. I'm going to just say 2/3 and a half. I'll just say 2/3. Okay, so with it like this, if she wanted to use it like this, or if I wanted to use it like this, if I was doing French tarragon, this would be it. This would be, you know, the fact that it's dehydrated, this would be the spice. And I would pull it like this and put a few leaves on whatever I'm cooking. It would rehydrate while cooking. You know, like if I'm baking some chicken or making my smothered potatoes or baking some salmon or grilling, you know, some steak or whatever. If I wanted to use it whole, this is how I would use it. My sister did not tell me how she prefers it, but she did see mine. So I'm going to do hers like mine. And I'm not chopping it into a powder or real fine. I'm just chopping it to where it comes into bits, and then she can pinch it. Oops, I'm messing up already. I put this blanket on me because this little duster that I have on is short. And don't want to show my legs, okay? Not today. Okay, so let me be careful with this. In fact, back to the bowl, just in case I spill some. And with that, we can just pour it in. And of course, I didn't spill any. And that's because I'm using this bowl. Had I kept it the way that it was, I would have spilled it all over the place. Okay, so now it's in the jar. Let's put the bowl back. So I put the lid on the jar, and this is for those of you. So if you want to learn how to make spices, it's very easy, you guys. I got on Renee's Spice Train. Check out, in fact, go to her channel. It's called Renee's Garden Adventures. That's the name of her channel. And she has a spice train going. So those of us who are subscribed to her, I got on it. I had never done spices at all in my life. So I really don't know what I'm doing, but I just went by, you know, she has some videos of she processing her spices. And so I'm just doing what she did, or either I'm just doing the way I feel I should do it. And so far it's working. Thus far, I'll tell you what I've made. I have made an Italian blend of Italian spices, which is oregano. I forgot what all I put in there. I did list it, and it's written on the jar, but it's a spice blend. I did a pepper spice well, it's not even a pepper spice. It's just pepper flakes or whatever. And what I did, and I use this, but now my set of peppers that I'm going to start tomorrow, I will be putting those in the dehydrator because I want to get an actual pepper powder. What I have now is mostly pepper flakes, and there's some powder in it, and I use this. So the next this next batch, I'm putting it right in the dehydrator so that it can make a powder, and then I'm gonna put it in this and make it into a powder. But the other one, I'm gonna keep the way that it is, and they smell good because I use sweet peppers. I can't eat heat. So all I'm gonna do with this is, and I like doing this, y'all. This is my favorite chopper, and it's chopping up. It's not gonna take me but a minute. Probably almost as quick as it would take the food processor. See how it's already chopped up? A few more chops and that's it. I see a few whole ones in there. That's all I want. I don't want this to be a powder, and I'm quite sure my sister doesn't either. So this is it. So what we do now is, did I bring her container in here? Oh yeah. Okay, no, I just brought a bowl in, but let me get her container. Yes, I did. I brought this. I didn't bring the top to the mason jar. So I'm giving her this mason jar back. She just gave it back to me the other day, but I'm giving it back to her because I don't want to store this in the plastic. I want it stored in the mason jar. Because, and that's another thing, for those of you who have never done spices, first of all, repeating, go to Renee's Garden Adventures channel because she has the spice train going. So if you want to learn about more spices, you can on her channel. So go there because she's been doing spices recently. So just scroll through her most recent videos once you subscribe, or, you know, hopefully you'll subscribe to her. She has a decent channel that I love. Okay, but anyway, you do that, and then you'll get some more, you'll see some of the more things that she's done. She's done the shishito peppers. She's done, what else? I can't remember. Oh, she's made onion powder. She's made garlic. Wait, is it garlic powder? She's made different things that I haven't even made yet. But anyway, so this is the French tarragon. We're going to pour it into my sister's jar. And then we're going to measure it to see how much she got. She got a lot more than I got, which I already knew. Okay, so this is empty. I'll get this washed. And what she has in this mason jar is a nice amount for French tarragon. Let's see, we've got 50 milliliters exactly, and she has 2 ounces exactly. Approximately 2 ounces of French tarragon. That's not bad. She has a lot more than what I have, because I have this teeny tiny herb bottle with mine, although I know I'll get more. So this more than likely will get my sister through the winter. She has flakes in here. It's a little powder, but I'm quite sure she won't mind that. But for the most part, it's flakes. I'm going to put a new lid on it, and I'm going to put the top, the band on it. And this will keep it fresh for her. She could put it in the refrigerator. Now, I did see online where they say where it said French tarragon isn't as good as it is when it's right fresh off the vine, but I don't think any herb is. But to smell it, if you could smell it right now, you would like the way that it smells. Hold on, I've got some more pieces in here. I dumped the things in the plate, and it gave me more French tarragon. And we're not even going to chop this. We're going to leave this whole, and we're going to pour this right into her batch. Okay, we got it? Okay, so my sister, she likes to bake chicken, and she likes to bake salmon. She bakes quite a bit, more so than she fries. And I'm also, lately here, I've been frying. There's a stem I don't want. Lately here, I've been frying, but for the most part, I prefer to bake. In the wintertime, I prefer to bake because it lasts longer. If I bake some chicken, I might bake 6 pieces. That's going to last me about 3 days, because I can only eat one at a time. And so, so I'll be using very little of mine, and this will be more than enough for her. And then when I do her second batch, she can bring this back. I'll do her second batch at the end of the summer, and it's going to probably fill her up halfway, because it'll grow. French tarragon grows really nicely. And I didn't bring my lid, nor did I bring my band. So I'm going to just set this here in the bowl, and that's it, you guys. This is how I process the French tarragon. Oh my goodness. Woo! I wish y'all had smell-o-vision. It smells divine. And those of you who have had French tarragon, you know what it smells like and tastes like. My sister is going to love this. And that's the reason why I want to seal it into the mason jar. You don't have to process or anything with with canning or anything like that. You just put it in the mason jar, and that'll keep it fresh. So she can put it in her fridge, in her cabinet, and it'll last her, until next season if she decides to grow it again. And then she'll make a new batch to either add to what's left over or to have a new batch. But just like any other spice, it's good, for them to say online that spices aren't as good. They say that, it's not as good as it is fresh. Well, yeah, that's true. You want your herbs fresh if you can harvest fresh and cook with them right then and there. But to save them, the longer it sits, the better it gets to me. So I don't go with that, analogy over herbs, but this is it for her. So this is good. She'll be happy with that. I'm quite sure. She was not happy when I told her that she only got 1 container. She said, how did I only get 1 container? And I think she probably thinking I took some of her butter, but I did not. I had my own. Y'all saw that. I had my own. She got all of hers. I did not tell her about the butter that got wasted, but that wouldn't have filled up another one, that's for sure. But I got that good idea from Doris today. Thank you, Doris. I'm shouting you out, girl. I never would have thought to melt that butter that was in the bowl with some of the butter that was already melted. I mean, that made all the sense in the world. So the next time that will be done, although I will not be doing my garlic butter the same way. I will, from now on, I will melt the garlic, the butter. I will melt it to a liquid. Then I will add the French tarragon to it in that bowl and stir it and mix it up. Then I will pour that liquid into the container that the butter will be stored in, and then I will either refrigerate or freeze the butter. More than likely I'll freeze it. And then when I'm ready to use it, then I'll put it in the refrigerator for it to unthaw, just like you would do any other butter in a container. And that will be it. So I have one. So I will be doing more. I'm going to be buying, I'm waiting on the butter to go on sale if I can find it. It goes on sale quite a bit, but I want to get the good butter like my sister had, and that goes on sale quite a bit. So the next time that goes on sale, I'm going to buy 2 more things so that I can get 2 more containers of French tarragon butter. And then also whatever French tarragon I get at the end of the season, I will save half of that to start in a jar. And I think that'll be enough for me. I don't need a whole big giant quart jar. Now the onion powder, that's a different story. That's something I will be cooking with quite a bit. And I also plan to use maybe 4 or 5 cloves of garlic to do a garlic powder. What's another powder I want to do? A mixed seasoning powder. I want to do that. Right now I've got a jar of mixed seasoning in there, and I also have a jar of the Italian seasoning, and that's flakes. So with the rest of the herbs, which aren't many, I have some sage left, which is for my sister because I don't use sage. She makes dressing, so she'll use it. I have some sage left. I have a lot of oregano that's ready to harvest now. I have some basil that's ready to harvest now. I have some chives that's ready to harvest now. And I have the purple basil, and it's a few other things that I have out there, but it's not much. So I will make some more powder. I'll be buying the onions. I'll be buying some of the peppers the varieties that I don't have now. These peppers that I have in the freezer that you guys saw last night, I'll be getting those processed tomorrow. I'll be cutting the seeds out, and I'm gonna do that while they're still frozen, because that pepper is gonna get limp once it unthaws, a little limp. Then I'm gonna dry it off real good. I have to go get some paper towels because I'm out. Then I'm gonna put them in the dehydrator, probably half. I'll probably have to do that in 2 batches. Those will dehydrate for about 9 hours. That's how long I did it the last time. But I'll probably let it go overnight when I go to bed tomorrow night. And then I'll do the second set during the day on Friday. And then after that, I will come back and video me processing the peppers. And that will be done in the food processor, just like I did the onion powder. So we have a few more videos coming, and I promise to make those a little bit more polished than the last ones. Okay, so real quick before I get off, because we're at 23 minutes. Okay, so I went to the doctor. They sent me home with a sleep apnea thing, so I have to put the what they call a cannula in my nose tonight. And they said whenever you go to bed, whenever you feel sleepy, you'll get yourself hooked up, and then I take this back tomorrow. So this little machine here will test me. So I'll put this around my chest, so it'll go up in the heart area, in this area. I'll wrap it around me, and then I'll hook the belt up. Then you hold this down until all the lights come on, and then I will put on a pulse ox thing on my finger. I have to tape this on my finger. I have to tape the cannula to my face to make sure it doesn't move or come off. I have to sleep on my back, and then this will record the whole time that I'm asleep. If I wake up during the night to go to the bathroom or anything, she says stay hooked up. They'll know that I've awakened, and then she's like, then go back to bed and try to get back to sleep. And then once I wake up for the day, I will cut the machine off. So even if I'm still woke after I get up. If I get up during the night, usually I sleep for at least 4 to 5 hours once I do get to sleep. And I told her I don't go to bed till about 3 or 4 in the morning, sometimes even later. I wait until I'm sleepy and then I go to bed. She said, that's fine. She was like, and then when you wake up, she said, just long as you get it back to us, because they close tomorrow at 5 o'clock. So long as I get this back to them by 5 o'clock, they'll get their reading and then they'll contact me with the results. She said if it's anything urgent, they'll contact me right away. They told me do not call for the results. They'll contact me to schedule an appointment, and the results will be gone over while I'm there, unless it's something urgent. Now, the doctor, I told him about my appointment next week with the ENT, the ear, nose, and throat specialist. I told him I had to cancel the last one, so I'm behind the 8 ball now. He said that's fine. He checked my throat, and when he looked down my throat, because I told him about how it feels like it's a lump in it, how my voice changes from time to time, and how it hurts and all that, he was able to look down my throat, and he said that I have it's narrow from, he's like, I'm telling you now, I already know you have sleep apnea. He said because you had it before and you were on the CPAP years ago, he was like, it doesn't go away, it's still there. He said, just because you had lost weight, because y'all, I used to weigh almost 300 pounds. So, I mean, I'm big now, but I was a lot bigger then. So that's when I was diagnosed before. And then I messed around and lost 80 pounds and thought I was the stuff and decided not to use the sleep apnea machine no more. He's like, it doesn't go away. He said, skinny people have sleep apnea too. It depends, you know. And so anyway, he said, I can see that because of the obstructive sleep apnea, that's why it's narrow. He said it's probably worsened in the past couple of months. So he said, I already know you're going to be on the CPAP machine. He was like, we just want to get the confirmation and all that. He said, and we want to see how this machine reads. He said, because if it's really bad or severe, then we will have to bring you in for a sleep study. And so he said, but right now, from the looks of it, we're going to do it the easy way. He said, we'll get you set up, get your machine ordered, and get you going. He said, you're going to feel like a new person when it's over and done with. And then I told him about my seasonal affective disorder. He said, all that plays a part. He said, it's ping-ponging off of each other. He said, and I told him, I'm getting ready to order a huge light. I found out last night. I looked at my light that I have now that I use. It's a sunrise, sunset alarm clock. And I looked at it because I wanted to look at the lux, the light lux. Not the UV part of it, but the light lux. Your standard lights or your good lights come at 10,000 lux. You can go as high as 30,000 lux, but 10,000 is standard for a good light that will help you without giving you UV ray damage or anything. So the one that I'm getting ready to order is 10,000 lux. But I was like, let me make sure, because if the light that I have is 10,000 lux, I want to make sure I go higher. I can go with the 30,000 or 20,000 lux. I looked at mine online and I pulled up the sunrise sun. Guess how many lux that thing is? It's only 3,000 lux. No wonder it's not helping. It helped for a minute, but it's not really helping. And so I'll still use it because that will be the one, because the one I'm ordering is so big, you have to set it on the table. And then you just have it on, you know, during the hours that you're using it. And you'll get the brightness from it. You know, you don't stare into it or anything like that. You just have it on and you're going to get whatever therapy it provides. So anyway, yeah, 3,000 lux. I'm like, no wonder I'm still suffering. So he said, I told him about what I'm getting ready to order. He said, that's going to be perfect for you. He said, you're going to feel like a new person between that light and the CPAP machine. He said, which will be a lot better than what you're accustomed to from years past. He said, you're going to feel like a new person. He said, I guarantee you this winter will be a lot better than the winters in the past. He said, and then going into the summer, spring months, you'll be so far ahead, your circadian rhythm will be back adjusted to normal. He said, you know, you may not even need as much light next year or whatever. He said, you'll go in feeling good. He said, right now, as I call it, behind the 8 ball, he was like, he said, your vitamin D is low. You know, that's been determined from my doctor. all this other stuff going on. He said, you're just going to feel much better. I believe it and I receive it. So I look forward to that. Okay, you guys, so let me get off. We're at 30 minutes. I'm sorry that I went so long with this, but I wanted to show you how I process the herbs. Okay, so I will talk to you guys later, and may God bless you all. Bye-bye.